Hello there folks, it is game number 2 between Patience and Hyun. The PVZ on Altazim Stronghold, very large 4-player map, and surprisingly I don't see a lot of late games on this map. 4-player maps, most people don't seem to want to try to play out these huge macro beasts, instead trying to find funky strategies to win in the mid game. I actually blocked this map from my map pool, I vetoed this one. I don't know, kind of like smaller maps, but as I'm getting better at macro, I'm starting to work in these larger maps into my playstyle. Anywho, we do have Patience, who took that first game, I'm not going to say super convincingly, because it took a while for him to build up the right army and go there and kill stuff. But his really early Stargate play with the Phoenixes moving into the Void Rays worked out super well, and it really got Hyun spending so much of his resources on a really huge Corruptor Ball that even though it was pretty good against the air army, obviously it can't do much against the ground army, and his Roach Hydras that didn't really have any upgrades essentially got brushed aside. So I was pretty happy with that for Patience. I think he played that pretty good. We'll see what kind of interesting stuff comes out of Hyun here. Should be confident enough to take a hatch first on this map, I'm assuming. You do have this nice little backup happy base here. I've actually seen some really cool games with one base Zerg on this, going for Baneling busts, because if you can deny the scout, most of the time people expect you to take this hatch first just because it's so much easier. So that means if they never scout this area, they just assume that it's there. If you can deny scouts well enough, you can go for a really strong one base Speedling and Baneling bust. Sometimes get out some really cool action. One gas before Gateway here. So I wonder if we're going to see a really fast Stargate perhaps. It's a possibility. We do have the probe going out now. Either that or I'm expecting some sort of proxy attack, maybe like DT hidden somewhere on the map. Gas down pretty fast as well for Hyun here. Looks like he's going to want to get speed. He might be going for some sort of 2-base play as well. It's interesting, these 4-player maps almost force you to overthink things, whereas if you went super greedy, you might actually just be able to get a huge lead. Zealot is sent across the map here once it's built to go for a scout as well. This Overlord is going in the right direction, but the first Overlord will see no Protoss to the top right. Really fast on the warp gate here. It might be just a 4-gate. No, there's the Nexus. Never mind. I just don't understand things sometimes. Kind of was hoping for like a 3-gate or a 4-gate just because I haven't seen one of those in forever, but you know. Just playing normal games too is fine. Zealot will be getting here pretty soon. Queen will pop out, so he shouldn't be able to get any kills, but he's really just there to scout more. Units wise, pretty tied up at this moment here. Chrono Boost keeping the Protoss in it, but Hyun is such a beast when it comes to macro. I think the only difference in the last game is he kept losing a lot of drones, little bits here and there that turned into a lot over a while, of just eventually the Protoss took the lead because he didn't replenish a lot of those drones that he lost. So he fell down somewhere around 60, when maybe he should have been somewhere around 75. Would have helped him keep that economy going against just the attritional war he essentially had in his first match. Zergling will come in. His job's not really to kill anything. He just wants to do a full scout, looking for the pylons, looking for tech. And then he gets killed. Didn't see the expansion over here. The Zergling should be able to see it. Speed is finished up. He can run faster than a taser zaps. Might actually get a probe here. That one probe has got like an hit left. And it goes down too. Nice little snipe there. It will regenerate hit points, and if it's not dealt with, might actually grab another probe. Not this time. Actually, a bunch of Zerglings coming in now. Oh, that wall's just tight. I thought that looked like enough of a gap. A couple Zerglings didn't make it in. Did he get another worker? Well, there are 2 total. One might have been a scouting probe. Just being annoying. He's gonna get another probe. Wow. Great little control bits there. And those, it's not like those are the most crazy, like, things that are gonna make you a huge lead, but they just piss you off. If you're like a Protoss player and you lose 2 or 3 probes that needlessly, you actually feel pretty salty about it. He's supply blocked right now. The Oracle is on the way. There's already a Spore Crawler going down at each base. We'll actually get focused down at this base. Does get cancelled the last second. Another Spore has been started, which will also be focused down. Zealots are actually doing pretty good here. They're getting quite a few Zergling kills. Kill their weight. And the Oracle is on the way. Surprised that Overlord's just sitting there that close. I don't think this thing's going to get any kills with the Spore and the Queen in position. These things are essentially made out of fiberglass and paper mache. Does get 1 kill at the cost of a little bit of hull damage. And he does see the Spire. Now that's interesting. It's too big of a cost really to just be a fake out. Sometimes you can fake people out with that and say like, it's not really a Spire, it's going to be like a roach all in. But it costs so much resources to make. Kind of wonky, derpy force fields there, but it does look like he will clean up all of the Zerglings at the cost of none of his units, so I guess it turned out alright in the end. Like, you have speedlings and you just make an obstacle course for them to run through. It doesn't necessarily always work out well. Looks like he might have been going, yeah, for a really fast 3rd Nexus here. I don't know if that's necessarily really fast. It is the 10-minute mark. But without having many units out on the map, it seems a little bit more aggressive. Keep the dream alive. It's a bit of a wider map, ramp here. You could do a drop with sentries and force field this off. Don't know if it's going to work or not. Zerglings are all out scouting the map. This Oracle's kind of in a weird spot. You'd think it could be able to stand over here somewhere and at least give you some vision. Some of the first roaches are out here. This might be enough roaches to deal with this. He did kill a queen. He will actually kill off a couple of drones here. The old school sentry wall. So he lost the zealots and one of his sentries. Looks like he managed to kill maybe 3 or 4 workers with that. Phoenixes are out again. We do have the mutas in production. I don't think he's got any made yet. Looks like he's got, yeah, about 9 rallied out to the middle of the map. Not much for Phoenixes. But he is still making... No, he's making... What? Whoa. I didn't even see that there was a triple Stargate over here. It's a cute little cannon in the middle. It looks like it's got a crown. This War Prism's just essentially seeing exactly what's up. It's just really kind of funny. Though it would be unfortunate for him to just get that sniped. So hopefully he pays attention to that, as the mutas should all be running across the map here pretty quick to do damage. Here we go. The first 10 mutas are on the way. Phoenixes might get sniped if they're not really paid attention to. Looks like Patience does not care about Phoenixes. That's alright. You don't have to care about Phoenixes. These Void Rays are very out of position right now. Well, he's got 4 now with the Guardian Shield. But obviously, mutas are just more maneuverable. Does grab one of the Void Rays there. Phoenixes are finely built here, but he lost those first 2 so needlessly, and it looks like his Nexus did get sniped down by the roaches and lings. Surprisingly, he's focusing down the roaches rather than getting down all the mutas here. Another Nexus is started. There are a handful of Phoenixes out now. More mutas, Corruptors now in production, so it might be a big air-on-air style shenanigans. Unfortunately, there's a 4th place already finished up for our Zerg player, whereas our 3rd Nexus, that has been cancelled, is just finally starting to find its way back in the world again. A couple of Zerglings, just checking these different bases to see if there's any other expansions happening. War Prism, probably gonna die. Maybe not. Not the best Phoenix control, though he does kill a bunch of mutas off. More Corruptors in production right now. It's nice to see if you can make a lot of Corruptors just to be able to move into that Hive tech. So that way if you do end up getting air dominance, you could just start pushing out a couple of them der Broodlords. Pretty big Phoenix flock now. Protoss player's kind of stuck at home for a while. There's not going to be too much he can really do over the next little bit until he can at least control his bases well enough. There's a lot of Phoenixes coming out though. I'm surprised if he didn't throw down just a cannon or two just to delay. I know I'm a little bit too obsessed with static defense. Spine's going down this side just because it's one of the closest places to get a Warp Prism to drop. Hyun's doing what he can. He's almost maxed out, but he doesn't really have that much of an air army. A lot of it's tied up in roaches and Zerglings. We'll see if those are the right kind of units here. The fact that there's so many Phoenixes, they don't really do much against this many Zerglings. You can pick up a couple, but it's just a waste of energy. Twilight Council's going down. I was going to comment that it would have been nice to see a move towards Storm Tech. Now, this is a little unfortunate. As we'll say, there's the GG. He got all of his major units caught out of position. Interesting game by Hyun there. I think that Patience made a couple of mistakes in that play, but overall I think Hyun just had the right kind of answer and a really interesting aggressiveness that I think he's really known for. SeKo Starcraft, thanks everybody for watching. We'll be back with the deciding game number 3.